But this is floppy copy in his Halland. And now, this is a nice game. So, very, very fortunate. There's no carrier in this game. So that really allows a destroyer to position himself aggressively. And that's what he's trying to do. He's already anticipating this island on sea cap. A lot of ships try and rush into that spot. Just behind the island, the south side of that island. Just on F9. And the same goes for the opposite team. A lot of ships try and rush into E9 just simply to get in behind that island and block that cap. And now Floppy is rushing down here. It looks like he's going for the B cap, but he's simply looking for an angle to torp in behind that sea point, or in behind that island at sea. Enemy Yamato, King of Pilots. I think he's playing the wrong game. So there's already something in that cap. Probably a destroyer. So he's just torped into that position behind that island at sea. And now I think there's a little bit of a bug with the replay file here. You can see the aiming reticule is up on screen, so we'll have to ignore that. It's always cross your fingers with these replays. So we've got double spread in that spot where he thinks there's usually a destroyer or a battleship or a cruiser. Takes out the Nustrashimi, First Blood, Dev Strike, and immediately one of the DDs is down. The Asasio is running scared. There's a Minotaur in the B cap. I don't think Floppy wants to have anything to do with that Mino. Looking to make a turn here. There's the Seattle. The radar cruiser is sitting deep, so there's no threat to the actual cap. Able to make a turn without even touching the island, no less. Maggie appears. Yamato is reversing. So he predicts the Yamato is going to start going forward again. I was surprised he didn't wait a second and go for the Amagi here, as the Amagi looks like he's in between islands. But he figures Yamato is the more vulnerable target. He mightn't be expecting them. He started to move forward. Just get radared ever so by Seattle. Seattle crept out behind the island. Seattle opens fire. Manages to dodge, but just keeps falling back. There is incoming torps there from the left side. So a destroyer has pushed up. Set of 3, so that's the enemy Öland. So there's an Öland on the flank that Yamato is pushing up. Looks like he wants to engage the North Carolina, so he might be locked into a course. Öland is detected there right on the border. Drops 2 tight spreads on that Yamato. This is the ideal moment to be torping a battleship, when he's actually in an engagement angled to a specific target. The chances of the Yamato actually turning there really quite low. The only thing that you can anticipate is he might stop, he might start reversing. In this case, he's kept fully focused on the North Carolina. Takes 7 torps there. Really nice salvo. And the Marco Polo finishes off that Yamato. So he's already landed 10 torpedo hits. Now I must add, our captain is not using the Jerzy Swierski captain, which is really quite surprising. So everything you're going to see in this game, it's without any kind of torpedo bonus or adrenaline rush bonus or anything. There's no bonuses whatsoever. This is just a normal captain with no talents, which makes it all the more impressive. Can you see what happens? The enemy have just killed the North Carolina. So there's about 150 points in the difference. Slowly taking the B cap. Drops a couple of spreads on that Montana. Fletcher takes out the Jean Bar. That kind of equals the score ship losses wise. Hello Charger Plays, hello and welcome. A lot of people don't like this map, and there have been different variations of Islands of Ice. This one, it's not that bad. If you get domination mode on this map, it's playable. What I really don't like is epicenter mode on this map. This is not a good map for epicenter. There are way too many islands. It's most times when you see epicenter, most players avoid. He gets detected by that Uland. He resists the urge to open fire here. Uland fires. Drops detection. And this is a smart move here. If he takes the fight with the Uland, he's kind of fighting on his own. Even though there is a Seattle coming in, the Seattle is Seattle looks a bit exposed. Drops 2 spreads on that enemy Seattle. So there's an Uland, Seattle, and Maggie still here. Friendly Seattle radars, so there is the Uland just behind the island. Very bad timing for that radar. The Seattle seems oblivious. He's fully focused on shooting the friendly Seattle here. He's straight lining it down there. Uland started kiting away. Gets undetected. Enemy Seattle was so kind to keep sailing straight. Eats 4 of the torps. And that's another devastating strike. Second of this game. So he's already got 3 achievements. First blood. 2 deb strikes. It's not that easy to get deb strikes in the Halland. Anyone who's played the Halland knows it's usually death by 1,000 cuts. So deb strikes can be quite rare. But he's already got 2 of them in this game. But things are looking much better now. The friendly team has control of 3 of the capture points. Enemy radar is down. There still are plenty of destroyers, so that means a lot of things can change. There's an Uland, a Mogador, and a Gearing still on the enemy team. It's detected by that Uland. Uland is now isolated. He's got no cruiser to help him. Gets a couple of torps on the Amagi in the distance. And takes out the Uland with his guns. Gets his third kill of the game. He's up to 111,000 damage. So some very nice play so far in the Halland. Not taking any risks. Just landing, predicting some very nice torp volleys. Enemy team have been quite friendly in not maneuvering, taking the max amount of torps. 16 torp hits already. The enemy team have taken the A point. It looks like the Sasio is getting run down by the Mogador. Mogador takes out the Zhao. And the Marco Polo finishes off the Amagi. But still very close. That Mino could be a problem. It is a smoke Mino, fortunately. Smokes up. So our captain instantly torps that smoke screen. And moves out while his torps are on cooldown to get an angle on this Montana. Everything at the C point is already down, so all the targets are here in front coming from A. I don't think the Mino is still firing in the same position. Obviously doesn't have his Hydro up. Gets another 2 torps. Gets the Confederate. 129k damage. 18 torp hits. And counting. Mino is after repairing some of that. He's still over half HP. A relatively healthy gearing. The Marco Polo goes down. So he's rapidly running out of friendly ships. And the enemy team still has a Mino, 2 destroyers, 2 battleships. Launches 2 tight spreads again on that Montana. Some Mogador is detected, gearing is detected. I think the Montana had slowed. Just takes 2. He is flooding and on fire though. So our captain gets his 4th kill of the game. Now he's up to 148k. Gets an additional hit on one of the DDs. The gearing. So that's the gearing hurt as well. Up to 160k. So he only has... And just as I speak, the commentator's curse, the Sasio goes down. So now he's in a 4v1. The enemy team is about to take the B point. It's virtually even on points. Drops a couple of torps on that Mino. So now he's going to have to gunfight. There is a gearing, a Mogador, a Minotaur, and a Bismarck that's still lurking around and hasn't been detected since he was over in the A cap. So 160k damage in a 4v1. The points are rapidly ticking in favor of the enemy, and he's forced to take on a Mogador at range. He's literally hoping to kill this Mogador really, really quickly. Does get a fire, so RNG is helping. The gearing smokes up. Mogador gets into the smoke. Lands a couple of torps. Gets the Mogador and the Mino. Gets the Kraken. Gets a double strike. And high caliber all in one go. And still, he's in a really bad position. Because the enemy team still has 2 capture points. He's up against a really healthy Bismarck and the gearing. So 186k damage. He's got 7 achievements so far. The First Blood, 2 double strikes, Confederate, the Kraken, double strike, and high caliber. And he's still not done, because he either has to kill something and take a capture point. He literally has to do both. The Bismarck, I think here makes a big mistake. I think if the Bismarck decides to be brave and push forward, and even if he takes 1 or 2 torps on the bow, it's not a disaster. And I think the fact that the Bismarck runs away here, I think it's a big mistake. And it gives our good captain an opportunity. He's got RPF. It looks like the gearing is running towards the C point, which would make sense, because the gearing is pretty low HP. The Bismarck is playing it safe. I mean, it's probably not the worst decision in the world. I guess he figured the gearing is running away. We have 2 caps. Let the gearing go over and cap C. What can the Halland do? He's got to cap. He's got to cap something. He's got to kill something. And time is running out. There's only 2 minutes left on the clock. Enemy team already has the lead. 40 points. Gets in and starts taking the B point. So 25 torpedo hits in the Halland so far. 7 achievements. And he's not done yet. 1 minute, just over 1 minute 30 on the clock. Gearing is in the C point. Bismarck is undetected. He has torped up in the general direction of the Bismarck. He has to slow down. He has to take this point. I think gets another torp hit on that Bismarck. That's 26 torp hits. And now it's down to the last minute. He's detected. Gearing is close. I think the gearing makes a critical mistake here. The gearing has to run away towards the border. He has to run away towards the border. And with just 30 seconds left on the clock, he gets kill number 7. They take the point lead, and the Bismarck is no longer in a position to do anything. So the gearing makes a terrible mistake right at the death. Instead of just running towards, staying in C, but running towards the border and never getting detected, they win the game. But he gives our captain the opportunity to get a Solo Warrior on top of the already 7 achievements. Yes, the gearing threw it at the end, but I mean, a really great game. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.